Hi everyone, and welcome to Happy Place Creations, and thank you for joining me today. Today I thought I would do the second half of those 8 coasters of our continents, and I thought I would do these a bit different than I did the first 4, and I was going to use these stickers. I have 4 different ones, so I thought I would use them in these 4 coasters. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay a base coat, and then we're going to apply our stickers, and then we're going to do a light coat to seal in the stickers. So let's begin. So first I'm going to get some resin ready, and then we're going to do our base coat. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do those in the foils, different colored foils. And then we'll apply the stickers when those have cured. So let me get some foil colors and some resin, and I shall be right back. Alrighty, I have our resin all mixed up, and I am using sorry, I already put the bottle away. This resin. And I'm going to divide it up into the 4 different cups. Not sure how much I'm going to need. I think I put too much in that first cup, but we will see. I got just a little bit left in this cup, just in case I did put too much in that first one. Let me just grab some sticks here. So so we can mix in our foils. As you noticed, I did this off camera because this is messy stuff and it can fly everywhere, and I'm going to mix it off camera until I get it covered in the resin so it's not flying everywhere into the other molds and everywhere. Yeah, I don't think I mixed enough resin for all of these, but I will start with what I got and see what we get at, I mean. I didn't think we were going to need too much just for a base layer. And I just want to mix these in and then spread it around. Just chopping it up some and breaking it up is all I'm doing now that it's coated and not going to fly everywhere. I did do 6 ounces, thinking 2 ounces per thing. There we go. Just break it up a little bit more. Once I get it down in the resin, I don't have to worry about it blowing everywhere. All I'm doing is dipping this end of my stick, and then I'm going around my cup to get the stuff off the sides that's flying everywhere. And then I'm just breaking it up in the bottom of the cup. So we are going to spray a little bit of alcohol and we are going to dump. And I want to start with the first one. So I want to start with the silver first. And get this in, and then we'll spread it around. Get it to all the edges here. I got to get it down into that little arm. So I am just going to put it in. And let her drip while I'm spreading it around. Well, maybe I did make up enough. As far as this one, I did anyway. I just want to make sure I get some down in that tip. There we go. And this will self-level. And then once this is cured, I'll be back and we'll place in the flowers. And then we'll do a slight top coat to seal everything in. So there is one. Now let's hope I have enough for this one. Whoops, I gotta put the alcohol in. My bottle's getting low here. Alrighty, so let's dump. Dump and spread. And I'll get this spread a little bit before I scrape the cup, and looks like I have just enough to do that base coat. And I just want to make sure I get the foils covered and flat. I don't want them sticking up underneath our flowers. Oh, and I did add some diamond dust to add to the sparkle. And there's that one. We're doing good. I do have to wipe my finger off. I got a little bit of foil on that one, and I don't want to mix it in with the rest of the ones. So I just want to wipe my little hands off. Oh, you can see the diamond dust in there. Nice. Alrighty, so now we will go to this one. Make sure that's all broke up good. Oh shoot, I forgot the alcohol. It's alright, it happens. I gotta get this cup out of the way before I spill it over. Try to get the most of it out. That is pretty with that gold and black. I'm going to put the sunflowers in this one. That's why I used the mixture one. Go get that in that end there. There we go. Got dirty that time. Now I just want to make sure I got it everywhere, because I already threw my stick in the trash. There we go. She's everywhere. And one more to do, and this time I'm going to make sure I use my alcohol. Plus I'm going to spray the other ones a little bit. And then I'm going to go around the edge and make sure I have no bubbles around my edges. Now this is the one I thought I had put a lot in, but this is a big piece. But I don't want to overflow it where I can't put a top coat. Because we got to have room for our flowers, and I do want to get some gold down in this little elbow here. I just don't want to restrict the... No, that's not going to hurt it. Because this is a bigger piece compared to the rest. I just thought the foil behind the flowers would look very pretty. That's why I went with this. And there we go. Now we have them all poured. just need to find my right stick. There it is. So I'm just going to go around my edges very lightly to deter any bubbles that might be on here. Especially the ones where I forgot the alcohol. That's a must. And then I'm just going to wipe my tip off. Sorry, my computer foot's in the way, my monitor. So I'm just doing this to release the bubbles, as I'm sure I've told you already, but I just want to tell myself. Isn't that awful? I gotta tell myself what I'm doing. But this just helps to break the, because anywhere you have a curve or a flat like this, you're gonna get bubbles. And I just want to make sure I don't get any. I have a feeling these are going to turn out really nice, and I don't want them to have any flaws, or at least break down on the chance of having flaws. I never listed the other ones because I didn't feel they came out very good, so I'm using them around my house. My son has one in his room, and Jeff has one by his computer, and I've got the United States ones I have. And I have another one, the other one, I'm not sure which ones I have and which ones I don't. But I do know I have the United States one because it's blue, and that's my favorite color. So I am just going to move this over to the heat mat, and as soon as it's cured, I will be back and we shall place our flowers. So I shall see you momentarily. Alrighty, our coasters have dried enough that we can put our flowers on. These are all nice and smooth. However, this one has some really sticking up, so I'm going to have to be very careful where I place the flowers. But let's start with this one. I should have opened these before I opened the video. Started the video, excuse me, but I didn't. So I'm sorry. So let's see what we're going to put where. And that looks like that will fit right in there with the long stem. I probably could even angle that a little bit. So that way I can get them all on here, maybe, or most. There we go. There we go. Get that put right down on there. Now, let's see, what else do we have? I got this really big one. Maybe I can stick in here, but then I won't have room for that one. And I kind of would like to keep the idea of the pink, but then again I have this one with another stem. I could put a couple leaves and put this one over here. I really like that big yellow one, but that's okay. We can use it another time. So let's put this one on first. Put it right down in here. And then I can angle this one up in here. Like so. Let's see. I don't want to clip it too well. I got some petals, if I could spit it out. I'm sorry. This is a small petal. It looks like it's coming off one of these. I don't know. Let's put the little one up here. And then we will put a leaf. Will a leaf fit here? I wonder. Yep. Oh, I gotta move it a little bit, but it will fit. There we go. I kind of like that. Whether I want to put another petal here or not. Maybe a small one. Like that. There we go. I like that. And we'll save these for another time. Alrighty, and now we will go on to the sunflower one. Now, this one will need a little bit of trimming. Now, which sunflower do we want to use? I'm going to think that one right there. If I can get it off there. There we go. And we will put it right here. And then if I shorten these just a little bit, we can get these down here. Just mark here so I'm not marking on the actual flowers. I don't know, do we need them all? I'll save a couple for another one. And I'll put it right down in the opening. And I think these two are stuck together. There we go. Now we will have room for, let's see, a couple petals. Put a couple petals in here. And what are we going to put for a flower? That one's too big. I like those open ones. There we go. There we go. I like that. These are pretty. And then we'll save these for another time. Alrighty. And on to that one. I'm saving that one for later because it's got raised things in it. This has a couple raised things, but not too bad. That one is, this one has got a lot of raised places, so I'm going to have to work around them. Alrighty, now, let's see. The yellow one is way too big. It will take it up all. And I still have this little one in here to find something to put in there. And I think I am going to put this in there. And I think I can manipulate it so it's just going to fit in there. That one right there. That's a big one, so we've already got that one. So we're gonna go with, see, the white and the purple. And I shouldn't have put that one there then. I don't know, maybe I'm gonna use the big yellow one and then that one. That still doesn't count for that purple. That pink, I should say. Well, I've already put it there. Wonder if I can get it up. I can. I think. Came right up. Alright, now. So now we're going to go with but if I go with that one, then I got nothing up here and I don't want that. Pink, purple. Those are two different purples, so my white, purple, and pink. I could have done that before. Okay, so we'll go with the white. Sticking up right there. And the pink. And then we'll go with the purple right here. think I'm going to call that one. Okay, now it's time to do this one. And I'm really not sure which direction these go in, honestly. So I am just putting them the way that it works for me. So I apologize if I have your continent upside down, but I am just decorating them what works for me. Alrighty, now let's see. Now if I put this that way, oh, this pretty rose right here with the leaves. I gotta turn it a little more so I can get both leaves in here. And this is the one I'm afraid is going to have some air bubbles underneath it, because there is a lot of raised edges. So I'm going to push this down as much as I can, because I'm going to do all of them again before I dump the resin. But look at that beautiful rose. And that wood, but then that's going to not leave me much space for anything else. Might leave me room for that rose right there. But I like that one. So let's see. I can get it off the page without ripping it. Isn't that pretty? I definitely picked the right backgrounds for these. And then all we have to do is pour our clear coat on the top to seal in these stickers. That one looks kind of close to that color. That's too big. But that would fit there. And that would give us enough greenery. I just hope these all stick down. There we go. And now I just need to mix up some resin so we can dump our top coat. And I am going to add some of this magic dust, magic diamond dust, to the top as well, just to add some sparkle to our coasters. So I will be back shortly with our resin. I have our resin all mixed up, and I added the crushed crystal, and then I put it back through the air chamber bubble remover. That's why it's already in there. But isn't that a beautiful shimmer? So let's get to dumping. I'm just going to spray a little bit of alcohol after I make sure these stickers are stuck down before I dump. Just going to make sure they're nice and down and nice and flat. Just going to try to reduce the risk of bubbles underneath. And I'm going to spray with a little bit of alcohol. And then we're going to pour. Just enough to make a cover. You know, a thin little look at that sparkle over them stickers. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm just spreading it out, make sure I have enough before I move on to the next one. In case I do need to mix up some more resin, I want to make sure I do have these ones covered. And there we go. And then I will double check that again. Let me make sure I got it all the way around first. Make sure it's all the way to your edges. I love this diamond dust. Makes everything sparkle. And there we go. We've been all the way around. Now let me just check these stickers before we dump in here. Make sure they're all nice and down flat. And then we will fill up this one. And then we will guide it to the edges. This one has to be guided down in here a little bit like it was when I put the first layer. Get right down into that point. Guide it and it will come. Resin is self-leveling, as you probably heard me say in all of my, well, this will make video 97. I believe I'm up in the 90s anyway, but I have no interest in stopping. I am going to continue because I enjoy making these videos for you to watch. And hopefully you're learning. I'm learning with you. Alrighty, and now we will go to the next one. Let's just make sure our stickers are stuck. And then I will pour. And guide it to the sides. Oops, I've been forgetting the alcohol. That's not good. It's alright, I'll have to go back, I guess, and go over them and go around my edges and make sure I have no bubbles anyway. I just didn't want to get any bubbles on the stickers. That's what was the point of the alcohol. Look at that glitter. Isn't that gorgeous? I hope you can see it. And we're on to the last one. Now this is where I really need to make sure these are stuck, because where I have pieces that are sticking up underneath the stickers is where I'm going to get some air. So I need to make sure these are stuck. So they may lift a little bit, but hopefully they're not going to float up out. Whoops, and I'm going to put alcohol on this one. Definitely. And I have it all the way around on all of them. And now before I top them off, I want to go around the edges of all of them. To make sure I am getting all the bubbles. So which one do I want? This one. Sorry, my hand's right in your way, but all I'm doing is touching my edges and going right around, just making sure I have no bubbles on my edges. Just going nice and slow, because you don't want to add bubbles if there is no bubbles. And there's nothing to pass on to the next one as far as mica powder or anything, so you really don't have to wipe off your stick. You can just go right from one to the other and just go right around nice and easy, because there's a lot of sudden turns and bumps, and because each one is different. They're not like they're square or perfectly round or anything. They got little crevices in them, and then I just keep going from one to the next. And then I'm going to top them off. And then as soon as they are cured, we will come back and we will have a demold. Last one. And then we top them off. Although I got them pretty high right now. Oops, I gotta go back and fix that that sticker. Not tat, but sticker. Right here, I lifted it when I came through with the tool here. And this one, I want to be very cautious about where the air bubbles might be. There's a big one coming up right there. I mean, I don't mind if it lifts at this point, but I don't want it lifting too high, but I also don't want all this air trapped underneath. See the bubbles? I want to get them out. I don't know if you all saw my last cat video, and where I was watching it for over an hour with my lighter, flicking away and digging out bubbles because the air was coming up on the sides and stuff, and then I walked away thinking it was safe. Came back and had a big bubble. But I demolded it anyway. And then I broke the tail, demolding it. That was heartbreak, because I wanted that to turn out so nice for you guys, and it didn't. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. Just making sure I'm getting out all the air that may be trapped underneath these tattoos. I keep saying tattoos, but they're not. They're stickers. And I think I'm going to top them off. Then I'm going to move them to my heat mat. And as soon as they are cured, I will be back. Now, I can't put too much in here. But I am going to top them off. But I don't want them to overflow. Just want to mix them in a little bit. And then I'm going to pop bubbles. And where this is going to be a top coat, I am not going to use so much alcohol, because it can leave a film. Excuse me. On your finished pieces. And I think that's it. Oh, that's a piece of the mold I'm seeing. Is that over that? No, okay. Thought it was. So I am going to take my little lighter very quickly and just pop bubbles. Because I don't want to burn the resin to my molds. These are brand new molds. And I've already done the other half. And there we go. So I will see you when these are cured for demold. Our coasters have cured and are ready to be demolded. They all feel nice. So let's start with this one. Not much of a demold, but it's nice to get them out of the mold. And there's our first one. And there's the back, if you want to have just the foil showing, or you can turn it over and have the design. Looks very nice, feels very nice. And let's go to our next one. Nice and smooth, nothing sticking up. And the back is the same. Foils, nice and smooth. And then we have our top, which is nice and smooth. The edges are nice and smooth. I think that my gorgeous. I love how them flowers came out. And we'll go to this one. Have a little bubble right there, so I'm going to do a top coat and smooth it off. That's air from behind the flowers. So other than that little bubble right there where I can put another top coat on and cover that right up, but I wanted to do it after I got it out of the mold. And here's the back. Can you see the shimmer from that powder, that crushed up glass? Isn't that gorgeous? See the bubble right there? And the last one. Oh, I did a little overfill there. Another one right there. Pop them right off. And there we go. That one feels nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. I think these turned out really well, other than that little bubble. But look at the sparkle. Look at the sparkle. Oh, got a little spill up there. Pop them right off. So that concludes my video for the second half of the 8 continents. And I thank you for joining me. I hope everyone is happy and healthy. May your crafts turn out amazing. You all have a blessed day, and I'll see you in the next one.